Yeah. No, I think this way is not in the middle of your way.
You're
Okay,
live.
so-
You're
Yes,
right.
we're on.
Yes.
Nice to see everyone here once again. Part number 2 after our main party. So first of all, let's dedicate may all that I say and all the chizik that we gain bring nachat ruach to Hashem Yitbarach, serve as a schut for Klal Yisrael and invoke rachamei shemayim for all those in need of Yeshuot and nechamot. Amen.
Amen.
Amongst them, Menachem Mendel ben Masha Malka, he should be zocher still today to receive the great news. No more surgery, no more medicine. The machala is gone out somewhere to Lululu and nowhere else for it to harm nobody else in Klal Yisrael ever, ever, ever. On the complete refuah, all the cells are healing. All the blood is new, all the organs are replenishing, all the lymph nodes are growing, and everything is returning back to its original briut, eitana, amen. I want to also thank the amazing hostess of ours, Yehuda Shamrock, for putting together this evening amongst so many other evenings. So much beautiful. Lemaisa. We have to begin to really just keep not just talking about what we want to do, but to bring it down to action, right? To really tachlis do things. So active with the Lone Soldier program. I just had the slip to have an amazing Lone Soldier over our home on Shabbat. Let me tell you, complete schut that he gave us. And it's Yehudis. This is the proactiveness of Am Yisrael Chai, Be'ezrat Hashem. First of all, I want to also dedicate all that we're saying. It should serve as a schut for Rabbanit Kanievsky, Alea Shalom. Tonight is her yahrzeit. Everyone, make sure you please light a candle in the schut of the Rebbitzin, Be'ezrat Hashem. May her light, the light of our generation, may it continue to shine upon us and guide upon us. We should each walk and emulate in the light of her holiness and learn really what it is to be an Eshet Chayil, to have such a husband as Kanievsky, Shlita, up to 120. They have to really have been an amazing woman, angelic emotions, Be'ezrat Hashem. It's good to be in our own way, being this beautiful light as she was and continues to be in our life. I want to just say two quick halachot of Lashon Hara, and the schut should stand for Jen Yitzvi Hirsch ben Anna Chayalea, that he should be zochet to refuat hanefesh, refuat hakuf, zivug agun, tshuva shlema, and nachat to his parents. Amen.
Amen.
One who speaks Lashon Hara in the presence of another in a way that causes him not only hurt but humiliation has transgressed a prohibition. Do not bear a sin because of him, which is a warning not to embarrass a fellow Jew. If one embarrasses his fellow in public, he has no portion in the world to come. Number 2, one who commits the sin against an orphan or widower, notwithstanding their financial status, has transgressed an additional prohibition of a widower, an orphan, you shall not afflict. Hashem should save us, Be'ezrat Hashem, from the sin of Lashon Hara. We should use our mouths for praises, for tefillahs, to eat kosher food, for all the things it was intended. Amen.
Amen.
So I'm going to try to make this quick and simple, though. Chag Succot, my husband and I both fight over who loves this Chag more, him or I. We both love this. It's such a beautiful Chag. What a schut to end off the period of such difficult of Yir'ah, Pachad, and Din that we've been going through the last few weeks, and Hashem says, no, honeys, I don't want to leave you in that space of starting off the year with Pachad, being scared of me. No. Come and sit in the sukkah, get a big giant hug, not just from me, but from all the 7 shepherds. And if you have a shtreimel, a husband who has a shtreimel and a gartel, and he's Hasidish, you get another 7. We'll talk soon. You get another 7 ushpizin. You have 14 ushpizin. I'm going to give you such simcha that you're going to walk into the new year feeling like you've been hugged so tightly. It's going to take you for the rest of the year. That's our Hashem. That's our Hashem. That is our Hashem. He doesn't want us to live in this constriction of pachad and eman, threatening. He wants us to feel his love. At the end of the day, that is what this Sukkot Chag is all about is us to feel Hashem's massive, massive hug. So it's a 7-day Chag. Now we're into the 3rd day. Be'ezrat Hashem Yaakov Avinu, and also the Alter Rebbe Hazaken Ha'admo Hazaken. Be'ezrat Hashem, these are our 2 Ushpizim. Be'ezrat Hashem, also Rabbanit Karievsky, as we said. Be'ezrat Hashem, and actually tonight is the actual Yahrzeit of Yaakov Avinu. No, yesterday was. Yesterday was the actual Yahrzeit date of Yaakov Avinu. So look at that, how we have this ability where his Yahrzeit comes out, and we again light a candle to ignite his flame in the Sukkah once again, Be'ezrat Hashem. So what are these 7 days all about? It's one, if you thought we had a hard time finding an hour a day to do Hitbodedut, well, guess what? We have pretty much an instruction to have 7 days of Hitbodedut. No? Can you think of that? 7 days of Hitbodedut. That's the calling of the hour, Succot. Is to spend 7 days and sit, Yisheb B'Sukkah, sit and do nothing. You have a free pass. I give every single one of us a free pass. No wash, no cooking, pizza, sushi, order out, hamburgers, french fries, have the husbands do the barbecue, everything. You don't have to do it. You sit down. Your husbands will have to do what they do, but okay. We'll let them do that after when we finish warming the chair for them. But the bottom line is it's 7 days to sit, lisheb b'sukkah, and earn what's called yeshuv hada'at, to settle our minds. We have 7 days to sit in the light, in the ambience of the sukkah, feel Hashem's tight embrace, and be free ourselves from being enslaved of all of the nonsense outside, which is called the outside world, and to live the real life. The sukkah is the real life, free from the embellishments of the chandeliers and the beautiful, all the luxuries of a house and the dishwasher and all that. You sit in the sukkah, you go back to the basics of Sheva Yemei Bereshit, the 7 days of creation. Every single day, we get to recreate ourselves through the Ushpizim, and we get to really feel this koach hitchut, the power of renewal, be'ezrat Hashem. So Hashem says, take yourself out of the world. There's no way to find me in this world. You're not going to be able to find me so easily in this world. You have to get out of this world. Sit in a hut. Now, some say that the sukkah is like a barn. It's like, think about it. You're like in a hay. You're like, what do you have over you? You have one of the most cheapest ceilings around, right? You have hay, you have wood, you have the schachas made of pieces of nothingness, right? Hashem says, go in and see how animalistic you really are. Ugh, it's hot. Anybody put on the fan here, please? Oh my gosh, where's my couch? Where's my recliner? When you sit in the sukkah, you have to go back to the simple stuff. You get to see how, so to speak, animalistic you really are. How much are you yearning and craving for all those materialistic things that you have in your home? I mean, it's you ladies are in the air conditioning. We ladies are here in the sukkah. No, not that I'm saying I'm getting the benefit of the air conditioning too. Don't worry. I'm saying, but the bottom line is when you're here, you're sort of outside of this world, and Hashem says you can't readily find me or feel my embrace unless you're willing to step out of this world and recognize that you need to come back to the basics, Be'ezrat Hashem. On the other hand, you sit here in the sukkah, and as my husband is saying, every 5 seconds, he's like this and like that, and he's like, what was that? What was that? What was that crawling on me? It's this. My husband says, now I know I never took you for camping. 30 years we're married, I never took you camping. Now I understand every sukkah why I can't go to camping, because I can't stand being outside. He says, give me my blanket, give me my pillow, give me my air conditioning. I'm a happy man. You have to go out, and you have to feel what it's like to feel vulnerable, to feel in harm's way. There's no door, there's no lock and key. You're completely in the unknown zone when you're in the sukkah. You're completely in a place of not knowing what's going to crawl on you, who's going to protect you, who's going to forget to do this, who's going to forget to do that. I am open. And I remember the days of Muncie, we put our sukkah out, the back of our house was literally, right? It was a forest. Bears, deer, snakes, and and you would hear
in the middle of the night you hear cries. You hear cries of animals eating other animals.
Quick, honey, save me! And I'd be like, who's the man? But literally, you are completely open. You're completely vulnerable. You don't know where is it going to come out from, right? And so Hashem says, that's where I want you to find me. That's not really where I want you to find me. That's where I want you to feel that I'm the one hugging you. No one else is there who's going to be able to hug you. So in the sukkah, we remind ourselves, we infuse in our heart the understanding. What's the halacha of the sukkah? To quote the words, tzilta miruba michamata. The shade should be more than the sun. So wait a minute, I'm supposed to sit in a dark sukkah? Is that the whole idea? If I'm supposed to feel Hashem, wouldn't I want to see the sunlight? Don't I want to feel the presence and the warmth of Hashem? Don't I want to look up to the sky and see Hashem's mass? The Rambam says if you want to increase Yirat Shamayim, just look up. Yirat Shamayim, just take a look at the sky. Just look at the panoramic view of the extension of the sky from the right to the left and recognize your smallness. Recognize how little you are. Right? I took it upon myself when we say Aleinu l'shabeach, right? B'shamayim mima'al, v'al haaretz mitachat. That last sentence of the first, the first pasuk. Enod. I go out of my way wherever I'm standing. I go out to the window. I take a look at the sky. I go looking right to the ground. I remember the day of death, and I say, from here to here, enod. There's nothing else. There's only you. And there's only you. There's nothing else. So why can't I have this schach open so I could see the massive and appreciate the creation of Hashem? Why do I have to keep it hidden? Look at the beautiful insight that Chazal teach us. Chazal say that when you sit in the sukkah and you're physically in a place of shade as opposed to sun, how do we define Emuna? We define Emuna through all, right? Light. Clarity, being in the presence of openness. But yet here I'm sitting in the sukkah, and even though it's called a hut of Emuna, but it goes against it. It almost seems to clash. How is it that I'm in a place of somewhat, and the halacha is it has to be more shady than sun. So wait a minute, am I here to gain Emuna that I have to be in a place of sun? Why am I in a place of shade? So look at the beautiful lesson. Hashem says, the Torah explains, when you're in the sukkah and you're in a place of shadiness, you're in that place of what we said before, a place of uncertainty, of unknowingness. I don't know. Every time someone wants to say something to you and you say to them, oh yeah, I know, I've heard that story. By the way, I want you to know it's very insulting when somebody says that. And the only times my husband will tell me something and I'll be like, oh really, continue. And in the meantime, I've heard that story 50 times before. It's nice, it's polite to let the person feel like they're giving to you, like they're adding to you something. So you be quiet and you play Hollywood. What women are very beautiful playing Hollywood. We can always put on a face. Oh, that was such a great Chiddush. I never heard of that before. To really excite them and get them to really teach us Torah that we've heard 20 times before. But the idea is that Hashem says that in the sukkah, when you're in that place of not knowingness, you have to be in a place of, I don't know. The whole idea of the realness of finding Hashem can only come from a place of sitting in the shade and not sitting in a place of clarity. When I say the words to Hashem, I don't know. I don't know how to bring up my kids. I don't know how to pay my rent. I don't know how to find my zivug. I don't know how to teach my kids to love you. I don't know how to dress up with tzniut and not sweat my end off and be happy. I don't know how to be happy when I'm sweating off, going up the hill of Beit Shemesh, and I'm thinking to myself, I should be dressed with half the clothing that I'm wearing right now. I don't know how to be happy with what I have in my life. I don't know to appreciate all the gifts that you give me, no matter how many books of Musar that I read, I still don't know how to appreciate you, Hashem. I don't know how to appreciate the hardships and the challenges and the difficulties and the ailments and the machalot and the tragedies and the injustice that I don't know. Hashem says, you don't know? Now you found me. Now you found me. When you're sitting in the sukkah and you're sitting in the shade and you don't have that clarity, Hashem says, that's where you're going to find me. And that's when you're going to feel my hug. And that's when you're going to get to really feel my embrace. When you can finally say to me, I don't know you. I want to get to know you, Hashem, but I don't know you. I don't know your hanhagas. I don't know how you run this world. I have no clue. In fact, it all looks topsy-turvy to me. It looks like the whole thing is upside down. It looks like you might need a few assistants up there to help you get things right, because it doesn't seem to make sense to me. And Hashem says, Dafka there, that's where you're going to find me. And when are you going to be able to actually feel that presence? Only when you sit down and you let yourself be disconnected from the outside world, and you understand that it's only if you let go of what you think you know, if you let go. What is the outside world? The outside world is, you know everything, you could prove everything, all you got to do is put it under a little microscope and you get to see what's really happening underneath. All you need to do is open up the Wall Street Journal or the New York Times or any of the papers and you get to know everything. All you got to do is click on a button, you get to know everything. Outside in the world today, we get to as if know everything. We know everything. Hashem says, no, go back in the sukkah, feel vulnerable, feel like you're insecure, feel like you're unsure, and that's where you're going to get to really know me. Only from a place of, so to speak, not knowing this. The yahrzeit of Rabbi Nachman, Be'ezrat Hashem, is tomorrow. In fact, as we originally wanted, yes, tomorrow night. Yes, it's always the Yud Chet, right? Today's Yud Zayin, so it's Yud Chet. So I find it apropos that we have to just mention something, of course, from the idea of Rabbi Nachman. Rabbi Nachman says, why are you here in this world? Why are you even here in this world? What is the whole sojourn? What is the whole dwelling? What is the whole idea of being in this world? Rabbi Nachman says it relatively simple. He says you're here to discover and reveal something that's here that you don't know readily that it's here. You're here to reveal the hiddenness. What hiddenness? You're here to come closer to God, to Hashem. How? By discovering His essence and His presence in every place possible in your life, in the world as a whole, by finding Him in every nook and cranny of your life, in the darkness of your insecurities, in the fears that you had, in your questioning, in your anger, your frustration, your anxiety, all the negativity of your life, you're here to find Hashem. So, he goes on to explain what is the power of the Yetzer Hara. What is the power of the evilness? What's the koach of the evil? How does he get us to fall on our face and miss out on finding Hashem and finding the goodness? He says, through the power of hiddenness. The job of the Yetzer Hara is to hide the idea that Hashem is tov umeitiv. There's no other explanation to explain and describe, so to speak, Hashem's essence. It's tov or meitiv. It's either good or for the good. Like we spoke about this, whoever follows the daily dose. It's either, Rabbi Akiva says, right? Kol man da'avid rachman elatav aviv. It will be good. It's for the ultimate best. Or like his teacher, Rabbi Nachum Ish Gamzu, that says akol letova. He sees it already now. That's a tov v'hameitiv. There's two levels. There is no ha from Hashem. No titzena ha'ot mishamayim. There's no bad. Everything is good. So it's either good now, and I can see it, it's revealed good, or it's hameitiv. It means it's hidden, but it will be good. So the koach of the ra, of the evilness of the world, is that it hides the idea of goodness. So Rabbi Nachman goes on to explain, Zatzal, that our tafkid, our calling in life, is to not give up the search, not give up the hope, and that's why it says, En yeush ba'olam klal, never give up, and always look for the good. Why? Because it's there. You just have to look for it. And if you keep looking for it, you'll eventually find it. The problem is that we give up halfway through the hide and seek game. And then we feel like we're not going to be able to find Chas v'Shalom Hashem. So Rabbi Nachman says you need to seek out the good. That is the avoda of every single Jew. Our avoda is to find Hashem dafka in the unknowingness, dafka in the insecurities, dafka in the shade of the sukkah, in the darkness of our lives. That's where we need to find Hashem. He doesn't stop there, Rabbi Nachman. He says, but how are you going to be'etzem, how are you going to, in actuality, find Hashem? You have to find Hashem inside of you. It's not to find Hashem on the outside. Then what does that help me? He's on the outside. I want to feel Him. The avoda is to be connected, to connect to Hashem. I have to bring Hashem's goodness inside of me and use that to work, or continue to work and reveal more and more goodness in the world. But unfortunately, in today's generation, we're all plagued with one specific weakness that stops us all from being able to pursue what we're really here to do. And that plague is called a lack of self-confidence. None of us truly believes, number one, that Hashem is good all the time. We have our questions, we have our doubts. We could believe it when there's money in the bank and there's food on the table and the children have shidduchim and everyone's healthy. We could believe Hashem is good. But to believe that Hashem is all good when everything's topsy-turvy and everything's going wrong and the good people are suffering the bad things, chas v'shalom, that's very hard. That's a very hard way to be able to discover. Now, what about me? I could really love myself when I just finished making the amazing cake and my challah came out great and my husband compliments me and he bought me the exact jewelry that I wanted and the perfume company that I liked and everything, and he massaged my toes and took out the garbage. My kids took out the garbage. Then I really know Hashem loves me there, right? And I can love myself too. I can say, I'm a pretty good mom there, aren't I? Did a pretty good job for someone like me. I must have read Dr. Spock's book 20 times, and that 20 time really must have helped me become a better mother. So when can I love myself? Also when things are going hunky-dory and I feel like things are really going well. But can I love myself? Can I cherish myself? Can I see the good in myself from etzem, just the fact that I'm a Jew? That's a little bit hard. So when we see here, we could see here the parallel. That essentially, if I lose hope in finding goodness in the hanhaga, in the supervision, in the derech of the way Hashem leads this world, essentially I've also given up on myself. I've given up on myself. I feel that essentially my tafkid, if my leader, so to speak, if my boss, so to speak, is not such a good persona to follow, then he must have chose someone of inadequate and lesser value as well to help him fix up whatever it is that I'm here to fix up. But if I can elevate the stature in my eyes of Hashem and I recognize that He's good and I search for the good and I don't give up. What is Emuna? Emuna is being faithful to the cause. It's being loyal to the cause. It's never giving up. It's never assuming that there's bad. It's always understanding and internalizing. No, Hashem, you said everything's good. You said you're my Father. You said you love me. I'm going to seek it. I'm going to search it. I'm going to find. I'm going to break open the klipa of the seemingly bad, and I'm going to look for the good because you said it's good. And if you said it's good, it has to be good. The same thing with me. If you're saying to me that I'm a bat shel melech, not just melech, melech malchei, not just melech malchei, melech malchei melachim, I'm the daughter of the king of the king of the king of the ultimate king. I'm the daughter. If I'm the daughter of the king of the king of the kings, and he handpicked me to be in his chavura of the Jewish people, wow, there must be something here that is amazing inside of me. Because he's not going to choose a schlock, kind of shmata to do his job. He's choosing the elite. We're the commando officers. We're on the front line. We're fighting the battle. So it must mean that I too have something that I can give to this world. So from here we understand that if we stop our search for finding something good in the world, we essentially have also given up on ourselves. So the plague that so many of us unfortunately are caught in the trappings of the Yetzer Hara is you're no good, you don't know how to daven, nobody cares about your davening. You're sitting here, what are you kidding me? You think Hashem really mumbled through this entire Shemoneh Esrei in 3 minutes. Do you really remember what you said 3 minutes ago? And Hashem and the Yetzer Hara is all the time trying to hide the good of Hashem and to hide the good of ourselves too. And that's the way that he catches us. But we have to sit in the sukkah and we have to say, Hashem, I simply don't know how great I am. Not from a place of arrogance. I'm not great. I'm great because you believe that I'm great. Moshe Rabbeinu, how did he call himself Ish Elokim? Ish Anav Ba'olam, he was the most humble. How can a humble person testify for himself that he's the most humble person in the world? I'd love to know that one. It's because he understood, it's what we need to understand, that the reason that we have greatness, it's because of the ultimate great that we're meant to be part of, that we're bringing about the greatness of Hashem, we're partners in bringing out the greatness of Hashem, and therefore we are stamped with the approval of greatness. So if you don't feel that greatness, if you don't feel that amazing, wondrous power that you hold, sit in the sukkah and say, Hashem, I'm in a place that there's more darkness than light, there's more shade than sun. As you have instructed us to sit for 7 days, I'm doing one long Hipodadut session, and I'm not coming out of this darkness. I want you to reveal to me in the coming year my light. I want you to reveal to me what light, what flashlight, what's the voltage of flashlight that I'm supposed to shine into the world, into my husband, into my children, into my life, to my neighbor, and to myself. Where am I? Where is that voltage? I don't find it. I don't know. I don't know how to bring up my kids. I don't know how to bring up myself. I don't know how to say a bracha properly. I don't know how to remember you 3 seconds after I leave the sukkah. Help and instill in me the light so that I could cherish the sun in the shady moments of my life. And that's essentially what we would like to try to achieve, Bezrat Hashem, this Sukkot. One last thing I want to just make mention, and that is one of the things, the amazing gifts Hashem says, I know there's a lot of avoda in front of you. I know working on your soul and being happy and achieving emotional health, which I preach literally 24/7 on the daily dose of Emuna, through the Ratzon Chabura, through the energy, medicine, and workshops that I have the zchut, that Hashem is giving the zchut to teach. That's all that I find should be at the forefront of today's learning. In my opinion, that's what I preach. Emotional health, loving oneself, cherishing oneself, recognizing the godliness of oneself. That is at the forefront of every single one of our agendas every day of our life. No matter where we are, we need to love and cherish the weakness, the downfalls, the schmutz, the garbage, the schmataness, everything. You have to cherish it, and from there elevate ourselves by davening to Hashem and asking Him to show us. What does Hashem say? He says, I know the avoda, ha-melacha meruba, right? Azman katzal, melacha meruba. There's a lot of work, and it's a short time. 7 days is not enough to work on all this schmutz that I have going on me. Only 7 days. What about 70 years? I really need a long time. Hashem says, I'm going to bring you every single day of the Sukkot. I'm going to bring you the energy to be able to work on the Jewish psyche and emotional level so that you can clean it out. You can't do it on yourself. I'm going to bring you Abraham, and I'm going to bring you Yitzchak and Yaakov and Moshe and Aaron and Yosef and David HaMelech and Shlomo HaMelech, some say even on Shminei Atzeret. I'm going to bring you all of them. And on top of that, if you're a chassid, Bezrat Hashem, I'm a follower of the Baal Shem Tov HaKadosh, Succot Tagim Aleinu Kol Am Yisrael. If you read the teachings of the Lubavitcher, the last Lubavitcher Rebbe, he says that all other 7 lights of the Hasidic masters also follow the Baal Shem Tov and Magid every day. First day is the Baal Shem Tov, the Magid, and so on and so forth. All of the beautiful lights of the Hasidic masters. So every day you have 2 Ushpizim that are going to help us work through our love and our kindness and our strength and our confidence and our appreciation and our endurance and our creativity and our holiness and all of those levels of all the Shivat Ushpizin. They're here, daven in their merit, absorb their light, light a candle, give tzedakah, daven in the merit of each ushpizin. Don't just let the day pass by without making mention of taking in their light, because we can't do it alone. Hashem says, sit in the sukkah, bring me into your life, and I'm going to give you helpers. And at the end of the sukkah, you have to say a special bracha when you take out the schach. Do you know what the Baal Shem Tov HaKadosh teaches? Why do you say a bracha to remove the schach and to leave the sukkah? Because at that moment, as I said before, the 7 days of the sukkah represent the 7 days of creation. The 7 lights of creation you get to absorb in you. You really are being born again. During the days of Succot, you're being born again. When you come out of the sukkah after the 7 days, you should feel an energy of simcha and newness, as though you finished Yom Kippur, because it's tshuva from Ahava. Sitting in the sukkah is tshuva from Ahava. Till now we did tshuva from Yira. So when you open up, the Baal Shem Tov says, when you open up that schach, do you know what happens? All that light, all that avoda, all the tefillah, all the kedusha, all the hitbodedut, all the ratzon, all the crying, all the lights of all the ushpizin. As you open up the schach, he says, if you could see it, you would see this massive light of newness. It literally pumps out of your sukkah, and the first place it escapes to is it goes into your home. You infuse your home with the light of the sukkah, and it stays with you until next Sukkot. In addition to that, the entire world is infused with the light of the sukkah based on what you put into it, together with the light of the ushpizin. So we shouldn't take this mitzvah lightly. You have an obligation. We don't have an obligation. We're a woman. We're Ashkenaz. We're Sephardi. We're Moroccan. We're Taimani. It doesn't matter. Sit in the sukkah. Daven in the sukkah. Smell the sukkah. Feel the sukkah. Light a candle in the sukkah. Daven and pray and yearn in the sukkah. Ask Hashem to see the light in your life. Ask Hashem for Emuna. Ask Hashem. Emuna is not something that you have to acquire. What is Emuna? Emuna means the knowledge, the instilled knowledge that you're connected to Hashem. That's what Emuna is. Emuna means oneness. Emuna means you're attached through your belly button. You have this big umbilical cord, and you're attached to the oneness of Hashem. It's not something you have to make up. It's something you have to be conscious of. So in the sukkah, ask Hashem, yearn for it, want it. Open up your channels of ratzon. Say, Hashem, I don't feel it, but I want to feel it. I don't know it, but I want to know it. Just yearn, ask, daven, and Be'ezrat Hashem, in the schut of the shpizin, and the schut of the beautiful embrace of Hashem. We should all have the schut to really be recreated in our sukkah and enjoy it for the coming year. Be'ezrat Hashem. On a bracha, tzlacha, and your year should be more chama, more sun than shade. Be'ezrat Hashem. Amen.
What are the